All right, so hello everyone. We will start in 5 minutes. Waiting for GIZ to join and introduce about this webinar. So let's start in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning, Lucas.
Morning, Haten.
Yeah, can you hear me? Well,
Yes.
okay, good.
Morning.
Can you on the sound? Yes, the up and the side. The on up.
សួស្តីបងសុជា
សួស្តី
ថ្ងៃណាទំនេរមកលេង Powerful ផង
អូ បាទបងបាទ សុខសប្បាយទាំងអស់គ្នា
Okay. So, good morning, Suchia. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Okay.
Thank you,
good.
and you?
Okay, I'm also good too. Okay, thank you so much. And I think we can start, right? Lucas?
Yes, it's 9, so let's start. So I will let it over to you, Raten, to facilitate this webinar. So first we'll have a short introduction by GIZ to explain about what we are hosting this second webinar about IC FEM and GOTS certification. And then we'll have 2 presentations, one from SGS, one from IDFL. And again, I put it in the chat, but feel free to ask any question in the chat. And after each presentation, we'll take time to answer your questions. So yeah, thank you so much for joining today, and I hope you will enjoy this workshop.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. Thank you so much for your introduction. So then, dear and very good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second webinar today on the HIG FEM and Global Organic Textile Standard we call GOT, and certification for the factory in Cambodia. My name is Raten. I'm from CVA Consulting Firm. I will be your facilitators for today even this morning, And we are excited to have you all here today for this important event. Today we have 4 special guests and joining us the event. So please welcome Mr. Lai Suchia, project lead and funding representative from GIZ Fabric. And please welcome to Lucas Gutierrez, project technical support from CVA Consulting Firm. And please welcome to Tom Dao, a representative from IDFL Cambodia as speakers. And please welcome Mr. Jakrit, a representative from SGS Cambodia as speakers. So to kick out this section, I would like to invite Mr. Lai Suchia, GIZ Fabric representative, to provide opening remarks. Mr. Suchia, please. Thank you.
Yep. Good morning, everyone, and thanks, Bong Ra, and also good morning to the speaker from IDFL and SGS, as well as to CVA, Lucas, who organized this event happened. Yes, and welcomes to all participants who joining this second webinar on GOTS and HIGS FEM. And I'm really appreciate and also delighted to see many of participants joining today. And this event is, is a collaborative effort which joined by, IDFL and SGS and CVS. As well as thanks to TAFTAC as well, they have spread this events to the member. So I'm glad to see lots of participants joining today. Many people might know me already, and if you are not, maybe I also can introduce myself again. I'm Suchia, and I'm GIZ's advisor. And I am working in GIZ just around 8 months, and this is and I'm mainly working on the pilot circularities. And again, to who are not really know about GIZ Fabric, so GIZ Fabric is a regional project working in Cambodia with the aim of supporting the garment textiles and increasing the sustainability performance. And we also working on the social topics, mainly on the basic rights and workers' rights, and as well as the health and safety and due diligence topics. In addition, there is also the environmental topics as well, so such as the chemical, energies, waste management. So besides Cambodia, GIZ also working in Bangladesh, Vietnam, Pakistan, China, and foster their cross-country learnings on sustainability topics. Yeah, so GIZ is commissioned by German governments and closely collaborating with industry actor and with the brands and manufacturers and civil societies and government actor. And recently GIZ Fabrics is working on the pilot called Textiles Waste Circularities, which joins by 12 brands, which nominated 21 of factories in implementing the waste textile circularity in Cambodia. And the aim of the pilot is to improve the textile waste disposal in Cambodia, and also to improve on the waste management systems in terms of collecting, sorting, segregating, and as well as prepare to see the solution way forward to manage the waste, to be recycled, reused, before it ends up to to the landfill or the option of incinerate. So in connection with that, we do see that the traceability is very, very important in the waste circularities, and there is the GOTS and also HIG-FEM is one of connects topics to this. And we do see as well, this is really, really support to the industry where in this garment sector, I would say, which really have, because many of them are also in or working on this platform. And this could be additional benefits to those who are looking for to improve and to learn. Then it can be super benefit for all of them. And I believe that our speaker from IDFL and SGS will give you all the information and also the insightful of the presentation. And of course, please raise all your questions during this webinar. I believe they can also answer to you, and we can share the knowledge and also the experience throughout this webinar. Thanks, and I would hand over to Mr. Ratans. Thank you.
Thank you, Sukies, for your, insightful opening remarks. So, yeah, of course, thank you so much again. And I would like also for today objective webinars that we provide the capacity to factory in Cambodia on how to implement the and certify, of each FEM V4.0, and then also how to implementation and apply, GOT certification and how to apply, also as well. So this is the topic that you need to concern, and you might need note and question. This is very important, and you might know how to apply, after the section. So this the one important like Suki already mentioned. So it's very good for the standard compliance. Okay, now we will be begin our first section on the global organic textile standard certification. And this will cover, implementation process and how to apply for the certification. I am pleased to introduce Tom Dao from IDFL Cambodia, who will be lead this session. Tom Dao, please. Thank you.
Can't hear you, Tom.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Oh,
Please,
thank you.
yourself.
There's some problem with my mic. Thank you, Rattan. Thank you, GIZ, for the opportunity today for sharing. Let me starting with sharing my my PowerPoint really quick. Can you see my screen?
Yes, very clear.
Yes,
No.
can see that.
So, first of all, my name is Tom. I'm the regional manager for IDFL in Asia, in Southeast Asia, where we managing Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. So today I'm talking about God. This training is a long training, 2-hour training. I try to cut it off to 45 minutes training. Basically, I using 3 of God manual to creating this training. You can see the link here. We're sending you the PDF file after this event. So for today's training, we're talking about first the God scope. After God scope, we're talking about traceability in God, and then material requirement, and then environment, social, governance criteria. After that is product, and then the last one is going to be special product. For God, we have a 4 scope. In God, scope 1 is actually for factory that are working with mechanical processing. So like sewing, cutting, and spinning. Those are scope 1 for God. Scope 2 of God are for factory that using wet processing or finishing operation, like washing, like dyeing, or other process actually involving wet processing or chemical. Scope 3 is for trading and warehousing or other process that actually are not have a physical operation on the product. So trading and warehousing. Scope 4 are for chemical formulator, the one that actually creating your chemical. So most of the factory here may not apply for scope 4. To actually audit for God, you need to have a product that containing at least 70% of certified organic material. There are 2 labels for God. The first label required to have the product to have over 95% of the organic. So that label called the organic or organic in conversion. The second label is making with percentage of organic material. That actually for God product have 70% or more and less than 95%. So to actually consider certified organic or organic in conversion for God, the factory need the first processor need to obtaining the certification from IFOAM family accreditation for the FAM that they are doing. So that is for FAM accreditation. And the accreditation and also accreditation have to have a ISO 17065. So we're going to the very first section of God, traceability. Traceability consists of 8 major things in here. So first one, we're talking about record keeping, internal quality assurance. Factory need to have operation procedure to trace So meaning that a system to tracing the material. Factory in the system is required that the system need to know the origin, nature, quantity of the material, need to know the flow of the material throughout the unit, need to have a nature, quantity, consignee of the material after it's leaving the factory, and then also the fiber composition of the product. So the operation procedure need to have all of that information. There are few other things for record keeping and internal quality assurance, like the record had to be kept for 5 years. Factory had to keeping all scope certificate of all the supplier and also themselves. Also, they also had to keeping all of the TC, the transaction certificates. Every time that they ship something, they need to keep an invoice, the delivery note, and also the letter of approval for chemical. I will explain more about letter of approval later on. And every time they're receiving material, they need to check and verify the origin where they're receiving the material. Besides that, all organic fiber need to be identified with invoice. And then all subcontractor have to sign contract with factory to ensure that they are compliant with GOT criteria. Factory also need to collect and also share all non-commercial information related to anything that required by GOT. The second part of the traceability called the segregation, storage, and packing. So there are two options in this. If you are the B2B factory, you only need to do the left side section. If you are B2C, you have to go to do the right side. So B2B is factory that are most likely non-final product. So meaning that like you're creating a part in the supply chain, you are T2, T3, or T4 of the supply chain. And you sell between factory, business to business. So to B2B, then we have to keeping everything and transporting all the goods in a manner that actually are non-contamination, commingling, or substitution. So to make sure that they actually are able to clearly identify throughout the process. Besides that, all of the organic fiber have to be segregated or maybe separate from the conventional fiber. So need to have a place to store them, to have a not clearly label all of the GOT material in throughout the supply chain. Every time you transport, had to be transportation and shipping document had to be kept. And if factory using pesticide or biocide, then those biocide or pesticides have to comply with the organic standard. So they have to be tested, actually complying with the standard. And then all of the PVC packing is not allowing. GOT recommend you minimize all the plastic use for packing. So this is B2B for T2 to T4, something like that. For B2C, actually are more complicated. B2C is more difficult. So if you are the final factory, or you are trader, or you are like name brand or vendor who actually are handling the final product, then it's actually more complicated. So you can actually storage or transport good with other conventional product if you label the GOT in the material in the good. You cannot using the plastic hanger, single-use plastic hanger that is prohibited in GOT. Recycled plastic hanger is allowed. No PVC in packing. If you are using paper or cardboard packing, that have to be recycled or have to be certified for sustainable forestry, meaning that, for example, FSC for packing, if you're using paper or cardboard, and also all of the string fiber or hardtack string have to be certified organic, and this actually showing in section 5.2. You can see it's 5.2.7 or 5.2.8. So please check if your factory actually are B2B or B2C. Next one, I'll move it to the material requirement. So as you know that, cotton is only one of the organic material that actually coming from the cotton seed. We have many other type of organic. You can have a bamboo, you can have a corn, you can have silk, wool, hair, or many other type of organic material. And here is the requirement. First of all, 70% have to be certified GOTS organic, and the 30% leftover, we call it the additional fiber material. So we're talking about the 30% leftover. So if that actually coming from natural, vegetable, or animal fiber, then just make sure that that is non-GMO. If it's GMO, then it's not allowed. But if it's non-GMO, it's virgin or recycled, it is allowed for the 30% leftover. They have to be coming from natural, vegetable, or animal fiber, or regenerated fiber. Next one, if it's actually recycled synthetic, then it's only allowed 20%. So in other words, if you said 30% of polyester, recycled polyester, plus with 70% of organic cotton, then this is incorrect, because we only allow up to 20% of the recycle, and only allow 5 types of the synthetic material, like only polyester, polyamide, polypropylene, elasto, and also polystyrene. So that is only 5 synthetic that we allowing for recycled synthetic fiber. It is up to 10% allowed in this individual or in combination if they are regenerated fiber or virgin synthetic. So virgin synthetic is also allowed up to 10%, but only for 4 types of things, which is polyamide, nylon, or PP, or elastomer, and also or polyurethane, so PU. So these are 4 types of virgin material that allow it. Also allow 10% if it's lyocell, viscose, or other material. So this is one that you may need to remember more. These are the prohibited in GOTS good. There are no conventional cotton that actually are permitted. So they are prohibited in GOTS. So you cannot claiming a product 70% of organic cotton plus with 30% of virgin cotton or recycled cotton, also not allowed. So conventional cotton is not allowed. Conventional Angora hair not allowed. Virgin polyester not allowed. Some factory actually, I see very common that they were typing 70% of organic cotton plus with 30% of virgin polyester, and that actually are not allowing. Polyester are not allowing in the good. If you putting 80% of organic cotton plus with 20% of PP material, or maybe nylon PA material, that actually allowed, but polyester is not allowed. So please remember this chart right here. Next one, this is for accessory. If you see up here, we already passing the additional fiber. So accessory is considered as like border, buckle, button, press, top, cord, and any type that actually anything that are not a main part of the material. So even jam or sometimes lining, inlay, label, they are all considered trim, zipper, all considered as accessory. For accessory, they actually also have to coming from natural material. So there are allowing organic or conventional material fiber, and also synthetic, generated or synthetic material. So mostly it's allow everything except for some of the prohibited in the accessory, like carbon fiber, asbestos. Asbestos is in Vietnam called amiang, silver fiber, chromium, nickel, and PVC, which is the chlorinated plastic. They are prohibited in the accessory section. Okay, and also other thing are also allowed and prohibited here, and this is for different sections. So if it's a fueling or stopping, then we are looking at like like all the criteria in here for the accessory. If it's a support of end frame, is a different type of prohibiting, allowing, and also I will not go through every single thing in here. We have a long training in the next, and then so if you have a question, I can go back to here later on. Next one, I'm talking about the environment, social, and governance criteria. So in GOT, we have something called the due diligence management process. And in due diligence management process, there are a few things that you also need to looking at. First thing that is required that you have to embed the due diligence in the policy and also in your management system. And in the due diligence, you have to identify the actual potential of the adverse impact, which is like more like a risk assessment of everything. Risk assessment of environment, risk assessment of chemical, risk assessment of worker, of safety. So these actually in the process. Next one is finding a way to seizing that, preventing it, and migrating all of the risks of the adverse impact. After that is tracking and implementation the result, and then communicate together how the impact are addressed. And last one, enable remediation when it's appropriate. So that is the due diligence process. The factory need to have in factory. It's a requirement for GOT that this due diligence is applied to all of the GOT certified entities. So if you have a subcontractor or you have a site, additional site or others, like child company, it actually had to be applied to, and then it had to be continuously implementation and also progressive improvement of the process. Factory also need to adopting a policy on responsible business conduct, strengthen management system for the due diligence, and you need to assign a senior or the board level to oversight this. So it's not just any staff, have to be senior management staff or board level staff to oversee the due diligence management process, and also providing training and allocating resources for this process. We are next going to looking at chemical management. In GOT, chemical is very complicated, but in short, I want to show you that in chemical uses, there's three main things that you need to do. The first thing is you only can using chemical that actually in GOT positive list. And if you're looking at here, I just cutting the picture here. You go into the GOT website, and then there's the tab called the supplier and shop and input. And then you click in there, you'll see that the approved chemical input. So you only can using a chemical that actually are approved by GOT and also are public in the GOT website. And when you have that, you make sure that you collecting the valid letter of approval for GOT chemical. So the keyword in here is valid, because sometimes the chemical name actually in the website, but it not valid anymore. It's already more than 2 years already. And then after that, all of the chemical, we need to have a SDS, which is the safety data sheet for chemical. So that is the main thing that factory need to do for the chemical uses. For factory, you also need to do chemical assessment. The chemical assessment, it consists of pre-approval. So all the chemical that you are buying to putting into your manufacturing process must be pre-assessed before purchasing. So you have to looking at the chemical and assessing them before you buy it. By how to up here, make sure that you checking to see if it's approved or not. And then for GOT Scope 4, you have to be approved by the CB that are already accredited. So also meaning that, for all the chemical formulator, you need to getting approval. And then after you got approval, then you can, they can send you, letter of approval for your chemical. And then SDS must be in the format that recognized internationally. I am giving example here for the GSS system, the Global Harmonization System. That actually are most common right now nowadays. They have a 16 chapter in that. It's widely accepted. I would recommend factory to using the GSS format for the chemical SDS. Next one is GOT positive list. Make sure that all of those chemicals you are buying actually in that GOT list, actually in their GOT website, like in the right side right here. That is the chemical assessment for GOT good, for GOT input chemical. Next one is testing requirement. I listing all the testing requirement that you may have to do. Actually, most factory do most of those testing. So there are 10 different tests that you may have to do in here. The first one is general chemical testing. These are for all factory that mostly for all factory that in the production of GOT good. Final consumer product testing is for factory doing the final product, and environment testing for any for factory that actually have anything related to environment. So I'm going through all testing now. So first of all, chemical input. These are the general term for substance that actually are in some of the textile dye, pigment, or like auxiliary. They are using it in textile wet processing, like washing or printing or dyeing. And all of those have to following GOT 4.2.2 and 4.2.3. These are two of the most common in GOT that you need to know. I actually show in the next slide. So this is 4.2.2. There are many group of chemical are prohibited in GOT good. For normal factory, you don't have to worry about this. You only need to worry about this for if you are the GOT Scope 4 factory, which is the chemical formulator. Then you have to looking at every of your chemical and testing them to finding if there are anything in here containing in your chemical. So for factory from Scope 1 to Scope 2, all you need to worry is to buying chemical from a supplier that already certified. Okay, so I just want to show you this is 4.2.2. There are different requirements. There are restricted and prohibited chemical. There are also restricted group of hazard, like H300 to like some to 400 for environment, and the H300 is for human health. So this one is 4.2.3 and this one is 4.2.2. Okay. Next one we're going to looking at is textile processing stage. So we have a different stage in our processing of material. First processing step we call ginning. ginning is, you know, the very first step when you harvesting the cotton, and then you put the cotton in the ginning factory, and they actually creating fiber for you. And then after ginning, then we're spinning those fiber, and then after that weaving and knitting the fiber, and we have wet processing and manufacturing and trading. This is the final product in here. So each step actually require different thing to looking at. So if you are the first processing, you have to testing for residue and GMO test. So in other words, that, you know, if you buy it from the farm, then it's required ginning factory to do pesticide residue testing, and also GMO testing. This is requirement for first processing. Next one, after first processing, you giving all of the fiber to the spinning mill. Then the spinning mill had to testing for, first of all, you know, section 4.2.2 that I showing you for chemical restriction, and section 2.3.3 4.2.3 for the hazard restriction. And then in the spinning mill you have a paraffin. Then the paraffin have to be tested for residue in paraffin. The residue have to be less than 0.5%. So paraffin have to be tested. And also it's also prohibited that your spinning have any synthetic fiber that could be dissolved later on. So that is also a prohibition for spinning. For seining, weaving, and knitting, then just want to explaining the seining. What seining is the process that you putting chemical on the fiber that allowing fiber to have some additional property. So it's only allowing you know, like natural product, like natural, like starch derivative, or natural substance in seining. Seining also have to have a max total of 25%. If you using synthetic sei, then 25% of that is allowed. If you have more than 25%, it's not allowed for synthetic sei. And besides that, it still have to meeting the chemical for seining also have to meeting the 4.2.2 and 4.2.3. If you using the recycled synthetic sei, then it's no limit as long as it's actually meeting the section 4.2.2 and 4.2.3. And if you are using other input for sizing, then also had to be derived from the natural material. That is the requirement if you have a sizing process in the factory. Next one is the non-woven manufacturing. So mostly it's allowing for 4 process in non-woven manufacturer, which is mechanical, webbing, and hydro entanglement. That actually allow it. Okay, pre-treatment and wet processing state. This is bigger, so I put in one slide for it. If you have a pre-treatment or wet processing stage, then you know there are some prohibition. It's prohibited using ammonia in pre-treatment. It's also only allowing oxygen base for bleaching. So meaning that like ozone or peroxide is allowed. So you cannot using like NPO or APO for do any kind of like washing or bleaching the material. So same with other, you can see that they have some of the allowance, and also mostly sometimes that for prohibition. I will skip through this. So next one is dyeing and printing. So dyeing and printing, they're actually in dyeing printing, please using natural or pigment that meeting all of the requirement on 4.2.2 and 4.2.3. This is allowed. Any dye that actually creating allergic or have a H350 and H351 for carcinogenic is also prohibited. There are some special exceptions for dye. If you're using some color like blue, green, and turquoise, you can actually have a 5% up to 5% copper. Everything else is heavy metal free, so it's not allowed. Also, the same thing if you're using yellow, green, and violet pigment, they can have they can accept giving exception of 5% of AOX, which is halogen group. So this please reading this. This is actually applying if you have a dyeing and printing. For manufacturing, you need to testing your material according to 4.2.2 and 4.2.3, and also using any kind of synthetic input. For synthetic for microbial finishing or biocide is prohibited, and any process like sandblasting for the name, which it could be considered to be harmful to worker, also prohibited. So like sandblasting is not allowed in GOT. Okay. So for factory creating, actually working with material for GOT, the machine oil that may come in contact with GOT during the processing state also had to be testing for heavy metal free. So so this actually had to be tested. You can actually also testing for GOT positively, but this is not a must. You can voluntarily test. This is not required, but it's encouraged. Also, I want to explaining more on heavy metal free. In GOT, heavy metal free definition doesn't mean that it's not contain anything. It still have a limit in here. So I write down the limit for you. Actually, it's definition in GOT. Page 44, you can finding the definition for heavy metal free. So don't worry if you do have some in there, as long as it's lower than the limit, it's still considered to passing the heavy metal free testing. We are finishing the general chemical testing right here. So we are come next to the final product, final consumer product testing. So for factory that creating final product like shoe or maybe like clothing, then you need to testing for technical quality parameter for GOT good. So those are technical quality parameter testing for GOT good. Make sure that the laboratory you are using to test, they have an ISO 17025 that accredited internationally. Then you can using them to testing all of those technical quality parameter. The next one you have to test is limited value for the residue in GOT good. So if you actually creating the final product, your product may be picked and tested for residue. Residue meaning chemicals that left over in the product. It depends on the risk assessment that you may require to be testing this. Sometimes the factory have a pesticide, biocide, you have to testing for it. Sometimes the factory like have a other type of production that actually higher risk, then you are required to test this. So the CB who are doing audit for your factory going to tell you if it's actually required for testing or not. And sometimes the auditor will sample will getting a sample of your product and then bring it to a laboratory to test for residue based on the risk assessment. So these are some of the groups that we had to be tested for residue. And sometimes you also have to testing for residue in additional fiber. But we recommend that you, because they are almost the same, we recommend you to testing the whole good product then again these two, then one test could answer for two of the tests. One test actually can cover both of the parameter of the value. Some chemical checkpoints for you here. First of all, you must have a GOT approved letter, meaning that must buy all chemical from the chemical that actually in GOT approved letter, in the GOT website, and then you need to have a list of all chemical available at the time of the audit, so auditor can looking at that. For final product, testing is complete. Now we'll go to environment management. In environment management, there are few things here. First of all, have to comply with all of the national and local environment law. You need to have a written environment chemical policy. You also need to share policy with all of your employees. So we're looking at the way that you share the policy. Sometimes you have a board there that you put in information on the board in the factory. Sometimes you have to put it into a hiring process. So after a person is hired and income to the factory, you need to have a training program for that person. And in that training program, it have to have some of the policy for environment and chemical. For the management system, there are 7 main points that we looking at. First, responsible personnel, to see who you are assigned to take care of GOT. That person has to be competent. So meaning that you cannot assign anyone to be responsible person for environment and chemical. That person needs to have a training, needs to have a background that are fitting the job. Next one is resource and data. You have to monitor all of the energy and water consumption per kilogram of textile. So meaning that like 1 kilogram of production that you make, how many water and how many energy that you're using. You need to setting goal and setting target to reducing reducing energy and water, and also try to increasing the renewable energy using. Next one is for waste management. You need to tracking waste and the discharge by kilogram, and need to have a goal to minimize the waste. Next one is for incident procedure. Have to have protocol for all of the waste and pollution incident. It's writing down all of the incident. Next one is staff training. Need to have a resource for training for chemical handling disposal, and then improvement project. Need to have a long-term plan and long-term and short-term plan for improvement. That is for some of the environment management. For chemical and waste management, need to maintain all of the inventory for GOT approved chemical, keeping record of energy, water use, wastewater treatment, also measuring all of the wastewater, recycle for solid waste properly. No on-site burning is allowed, and also no uncontrolled landfilling. So it's not allowed for on-site waste burning and also uncontrolled landfilling. For pollution, pollution also have 2 types. One is noise pollution, and also the other one is air pollution. Depend on different country. In Cambodia, it may require that the law is considered different dB to be like noise pollution. So please check the law, but make sure that your factory have a lower noise pollution than the allowed. So monitoring all of the noise and also air pollution, and also you need to conduct the testing for that. So make sure that you able to testing your noise and also able to testing your air pollution. Next one is greenhouse gas. This is the new thing in GOT 7.0. In GOT 6.0, they're not mentioned about this, but But you need to now identify, monitoring, quantifying, reducing the greenhouse gas emission. You need to collect all of the initial data on GSG sources, and also need to have a long-term plan for the management of the greenhouse gas. Next one is waste management. Waste management had to be, first of all, compliant with the law. So have a permit on that from government. For all of the treatment plant, then make sure that all the wastewater have been treated before discharging to the environment. The plant have to be effective, operational, maintenance, have to be able to treating the water, and then need to actually testing your water in the normal capacity, and also need to have a person to maintaining and training the staff on the water treatment. There are some limit. There are some limit here for the discharge limit. The limit is like 20 grams of COD per kilogram of processed textile. Also like what the actually is saying here that the COD of the water have to be reducing if you're using hemp or glass fibers for 75%. Wastewater limit here actually easier than GIS if the factory are doing GIS. In GIS they have a whole appendix D from ZDSA, and for GOT they only checking for COD. So and also for pH have to be from 6 to 9, which is easy, and also for temperature is 35 degrees Celsius. Next section, I will talking about the human rights and social criteria. There are 12 main concepts in human rights. Everything that when I putting it with the green stand here is new. So these are the new thing in GOT. They actually have not appeared in GOT 6.0. So these are the new in 7.0. Really quickly, forced labor, everyone know. Like don't keeping any of original documentation. Everything has to be voluntary. Cannot collecting any fee from employment. Thing like that. These are for forced labor. Child labor. Any child actually under the age of 15 is considered child, and it's not allowed for child labor. Any young worker are considered in the age 15 to 18, 18 and before 18. Sorry, 15 and before 18. Those are young worker, and they only can working maximum 8 hours a day, no overtime, and 12-hour rest. So these are very simple concept. Everyone, all factory who doing any audit should know about this. Also for discrimination, harassment, and violence, no discrimination on hiring, paying, training. If there any harassment or violence, this is zero tolerance policy need to be in place. And like we need to have a discipline measurement of how this thing go, and also need to have a place to encouraging people to reporting of the abuse or any kind of violence in the factory. So maybe a mailbox so they can put in their reporting in that. The new section in GOT 7.0 is gender equality. Gender equality, not gender equality. It's wrong here. Gender equality. So gender equality meaning that it has to be equal between like male and female. So all the jobs actually are higher accordingly to the have to be higher accordingly to the competency and proficiency of the person, not because of the gender. So like we need to be fair, transparent in recruitment, in promotion for people and reward. For gender equality, they also have some of the things that saying here where pregnant woman, mother and child need to be protected. Also have to be prevent of everything that setback after pregnancy or maternity leave. Also meaning that they are protecting pregnant women. Also God required that protection against any threat to not hire people who have pregnant or maybe prepare for marriage. Sometimes that is happening in factory. And also protecting for worker with family responsibility from the discrimination. Sometimes worker have family, they have to go home, like finish their work and go home and cannot overtime. And these are helping them to, like not afraid of any type of threat or layoff. So factory need to have like policy for all of those for gender equality. Next one is freedom of association and also collective bargaining. People have a right to be freedom to choosing association and also union activity. I was skipping this section. Please, if you have time, go back to my slide and you can read more about this. I think time is almost up. Also, like for health and safety, then these are the requirements. This is the big section for health and safety, mostly for protecting the worker for accident, for chemical safety, for medical assistance, building, fire safety, and there are also for emergency exit have to be is actually in GOT 7.0. So all of this I already summarized for you. Please reading this and go back to the manual. I'm going to talking about new thing in GOT. There are a section for home worker, where if the factory have a home worker, you have to ensure that the home worker are treated equally with the worker in the facility, and like also precocious employment, meaning that like all the employment have to be compliant with the law, with labor. It is not allowed for labor only contract, meaning that coming there and only charging for labor. Their fixed term contract is allowed. And also for migrant worker, the same thing had to be make sure that all of the treatment for migrant worker actually are equal with your factory worker. And then the contract that they sign have to be in a language that they understood. So if you have people coming from other country to your country, the contract had to be written in a language that they understand it. And then everything had to be fair, like food, accommodation, and transportation had to be fair for them. Governance criteria, also a new thing in GOT 7.0. Hold on, let me check on the time really quick. My time is almost up, so
Okay,
let me
please,
just.
No problem, just a little bit, right? No problem. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You can complete. Okay.
Thank you. So governance criteria, principle is, ethical behavior is essential. You need to build confidence among all of the worker, partner, customer, certifier, and then make sure that factory has to have a code of conduct that prescribing the ethical principle, honesty, and fair in dealing with other. And you need to have a prohibition of any type of corruption and bribery in your factory. So these are also required in documentation. Okay. And I was going to the last one is a special requirement. There's also only two groups in special requirement. 6.1 is for personal care product, which is if you are making product like wool strip or maybe like dressing or or tampon or cotton bud, like to clean your eye or your ear for a dental row. Those are calling the special product, and there are requirements for testing additionally for special product right here. And for food contact textile, the same thing happen. If you are making anything that actually are touching food, then you cannot use, like, it has to be chlorine free. And then in the printing, this only allowing one side of printing, and that side has to be not contact to food, and also and ensure that the substance are not transferred through the substrate. Anyway, I try to shorten down my training, but thank you so much for listening, and hope that this training will help you to understand more about God. If you have any question, then I'm here to answer you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, for your detailed presentation. I think a very wonderful, let's say this is not a training course, but however, let's say introductory, training, training. So it will not provide, more insight, in specific, a term and in terms of the God certification, And yes, thank you so much. But I just went through your presentation. Maybe some maybe gender equality, maybe missed the slide somehow, and maybe you need to reuse some, and then we can send way to our participant, right? So some mistake out there. For like you say gender equality, something like that, and then maybe gender slide like gender equality in your business there. Yes, I could not find anyway, but maybe I'm sure. But let review then please send the final one. So, okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. But also come from my question, and could you tell us a bit about let's say IDFL, and then this is certification body, or let's say this is for other organizations. Please to be clarified with the participant. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Rathian. So IDFL is a certification body. We doing audit for God, for GIS, and textile exchange. We also have a HIC, FEM, and other services also on the way. So we are a certification body and also a laboratory. So we are testing for chemical and also for textile product. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Tom. So that is clear for all. I hope that they might know who you are, right? And then how they would connect you for the further, the stage, communication somehow. So you might have some, the communication, address you can drop in the chat box, and then so the participant maybe can read you through email or WhatsApp, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I thank you so much, Tom. I think this is very good, comprehensive, and then I hope no worry, participant. Then we will share you the presentation both Khmer and English. So maybe Tom can also come back to review, and then he will send the final one, right? So and then we will share with the participants. So of course, as you know already, then a lot of the checklist, like Tom presentation, a lot of the activity. But however, maybe the factory who implemented, like for example, like ISO 9001 or 14,000. One in terms of environmental management system, in terms of OSAS, and also heat implementation. I think it's all some kind of the requirement of the cost certification. So maybe some a little bit improve in terms of like farm certified cost and material, organic material choosing for the factory and other the guideline, guidance to comply with the cost certified. So this is it's not new for everyone, but this is the new concept for the cost certified. So hope participant will know on about the process on that. So any question from everyone, please. Yeah, you can come directly to Tom, and then also you can drop.
There are, you can check. There are two questions in the chat box. Can you see them? Otherwise, I can read it.
Yes, I can see them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So maybe we can start with those two questions. Thank you, Tom.
I see a few questions here. One question is, can we get this training material? So yes, I already translating this to Cambodian. So we're sending to you all the Cambodian version and also the English version, so that you can reading through our in English and also in Cambodian. The next question is saying that, you know, like what the treatment periodic test quarterly or every 6 months. So in many countries, this is required due to testing it every 6 months. It's also related to the country requirement. In GOT, in GIS actually required you to do it twice a year. But in Wiki, according to ZDSC, but in GOT, they said that that's regular. So they doesn't saying that like 1 time a year or maybe 2 times a year. So make sure that you're following your local law for the wastewater, and I recommend you do it twice a year, which is most of the country actually are required right now. Yes, I think that there's one question on how can we hold on 1 second. How can we apply? I saw it earlier, but we will share with you our IDFL email in Cambodia. It's very easy, cambodia@idfl.com. I'll typing it in the chat box, and then as long as you send us an email, we're sending you application, and then it will show you every step.
Tom, you also update in the presentation. You can update in the contact there, you know, your contact in the presentation, so that we can share with them, and that they will have a contact, right? So,
sure.
Yeah,
I can do that. Next question I saw there is from Chandron, saying that what is different between GIS and GOT? So GIS and GOT actually very different. GIS actually partner with ZDSC where all of the water testing, all of the chemical testing are according to ZDSC. But GOT, they have their own GOT approved list. So everything that you're buying chemical have to be GOT approval, have to have a chemical GOT approved. And beside that, GIS also do about like 7 sections of the social, where GOT actually have a 12 section of social. So they have additional 5 sections of social that actually in GOT than more in GOT than in GIS. So it's more difficult. I will say that GOT actually are more difficult to do. And the main difference is GIS actually recycle, and GOT actually organic standard from 2 different organizations. Yeah. So that is all of the. If you have any other question, please let me know.
Maybe Mr. Han Sarapong, you want to talk something, right? Han Sarapong, I saw your.
I saw another question. If our factory hasn't used the chemical on product, should we apply GOT? If you don't use any chemical in your product, then you can apply for GOT Scope 1. As we mentioned in the very beginning, Scope 1 is you know, like no chemical processing. There's no wet processing. Yes, you can apply for GOT. Make sure that you have at least 70% of organic material in your good.
If factory did not apply for GOT, how to apply?
So if you have not applied for GOT and you want to apply, we'll sending you the information. You can send us email. We'll sending you the instruction and also a checklist for applying. For next question, I see that like how can we got approval list? I'll sending you the GOT approval list right now.
Okay.
So you can go to GOT website, and in GOT website that they have a approval list in the GOT website. So if you see in the chat box, I sending you a GOT website in here. As long as you go to the GOT website, they should have a GOT approval list in the website.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
yeah, you will also send the code checklist, right, for them also, so that they
Yep.
will know how to apply. Okay. Good. Thank you, Tom, for the detail and the comprehensive presentation and respond to the participant. So I hope this we don't have much time, and thank you so much for your time, and
Thank
your
you.
while you provide more insight for this webinar. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, now we come to the next section. We focus on HIG FEM. This section will explore on what HIG FEM is and why it is installed, and also its requirement and how to implementation and get certified. And then this will I would introduce Mr. Chakrit from HGX Cambodia, who will take the lead for the section. Please, Chakrit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rajan. Do you hear me, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. My name is Chakrit Salakam, or you can call me Chris. I will share my slides.
Not okay. Yes, you can see it. Just make it big.
Okay. This
Okay,
is
then.
big.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for Rajan. This is the introduction of the HIG FEM. I will introduce myself again. You can call me Chris. I am a trainer and verifier of the HIG FEM 4.0 from the SGS. So for today, I would like to introduce about the HIG FEM introduction. This is the content of the slides. For the first one, I need you to know what is the HIG index and how many family in the HIG index. And the next for the HIG, what is the HIG facility module, environmental modules. The next for the overview for the HIG FEM 4.0 or the new version in this year. And getting started the HIG FEM, and the last one is the question and answer. For the first, in the HIG, we have many tools in the HIG index. For the HIG index overviews, okay, we will start on the HIG facility environmental modules and facility social labor and module. For this, focus on the facility. Some factory, in the HIG FEM and maybe for HIG FEM for the environmental and HIG FSLM for the social. For this program, enabled on the yearly measurement, evaluation, and performance improvement in category such as the water, energy, chemical, and employee safety. In the next, this is the answer of the HIG index. We call the brand and the retail tools. For the brand and retail tools, mean help the brands and retailers measure their overall social and environmental impact across categories such as operation, store, and supply chain. In the next, the material sustainability index and products module. This provides for the information about the impact of the material used in the apparel, footwear, and home textile industrial. And the last one, for the HIG index, need to be the verified. So for the verifier body, HGS is only the few SAC approved verifier body that can provide verification service for the HIG FEM, SLM, and BRM. For the FEM, again, FEM is mean facility environmental modules. FSLM is mean facility social and labor modules. And BRM is mean brand and retail tools. This is the family of the HIG index overview. So for today I will introduction about the HIG facility environmental modules, or we call the HIG FEM. For the HIG FEM, is a sustainability assessment tool that standardizes how facility measure and evaluate their environmental performance, focused on years over years. For the HIG FEM is designed to measure and quantify the sustainability impact of a facility. For reduce the redundancy in the measuring and reporting sustainability performance, drive your business value for the reduce the risk and uncovering efficiencies. And the last one, create a common means and language to communicate sustainability to stakeholders. I think for the last time, many factories have many verifier or many audit from the customer or the brand. So I can this program or we call the HIT can use can help you to verify because the HIT need to verify year over year or the 1 year. For the HIT facility and method modules is the full name. And we can call this the HIT FEM. For this year the HIT they have a big change because for the previous year or the last years we have a older version we call the HIT FEM 3.0. For now we start on the HIT FEM 4.0 or the new version of the HIT FEM. This is the overview of the I will explain you about the overview for the HIT FEM, the new version. So for the HIT FEM measure, they have 8 topics. 8 topics need you to fill the data. For the 8 topics, they have separate in the two main points. For the first one, we call the site information and permit. For this section, will not be scored, but they have some detail. I will explain in the next slide. For the first one, and for the 7 topic, they have a score. They focus on the environmental management system. For the first, the topic starts from the environmental management system, and next, energy and GHG. GHG we can call the greenhouse gas. And the next for the water use, for the air emissions, waste management, wastewater, and the last one is the chemical management section. For the summary again, all of these 7 sections have a score. Or you can focus on the number 2 to number 8. This is the level. The level to check your company. In the HIT, they have 3 level. For the 3 level support in the 7 topic only. 7 topic is mean I explained you in the last slide. Focus on the environmental management system, energy, GHG, wastewater, air emission, and chemical. For the level 1, is the basic. In this case, you need to fulfill level 1 first. In case of you fulfill the level 1, level 2 and 3 will open. Back to again. For the level 1, focus on the compliance and tracking the performance. In the some wording, you can call the level 1 is the foundation. For the level 2, need to set the baseline, target, goal, and reduction program. For the baseline, target, reduction, including their action plan. And the last one is the level 3. The level 3 we can call the aspirational level or leading to practice. For demonstration to leadership, making the continuous reduction for 3 years or more. This is the summary for the applicability. For the FEM, every factory can apply. For now, we have a new and the current FEM user. For the coded levels, we have 3 levels. But for my suggestion, you need to fulfill in the level 1 first. The quantitative metric, including. And the last one for the verification day. Normally, they can start from the 1 to 3 day in the general, depending on sizing of your factory, complexity, or the company areas for the check. But for the normally start from the 1 to 3 days in general. This is the detail for the site information and permit. This is the key highlight. For the first one, you need to declare. You need to declare your facility type first, because for the facility type in the new version, in case of you select type of your factory, maybe it will be affect to the another part of the HIC FEM. They focus on the valid operating license, annual production volumes. For the annual production volume in this version, they separate in the main and secondary. For the first one, you need to fill data for the I think we can call the first unit. First unit example is some in some processing example for the textile dyeing or something. You can use the kilogram or you can use a piece of hair only. In case of you need to fill the yard or square meter, this is the second unit you can put in the system. Check the compliance status with the relevant environmental permit. Record from the IPE. For the IPE, based on in the channel, a list of the applicable legal and the other requirements. And the last one, a list of the applicable permit and the license. For the remarks, this is the new version. For the new version, for the previous version, they are only the invalid operating license only. But for the new version, they add some detail of the environmental permit. In case of you have an invalid operation license and environmental permit, will need to be 0 score for the whole models. Please recheck and confirm for the operating license and environmental permit in your company. This is the key highlight for the site information and permit. The next is the environmental management system. For the environmental management system, the first one, you need to clear responsibility. It means you need to clear role and responsibility of your staff. Focus on the environmental management first. Next, for the environmental impact assessment, in case of some company, you have a certified about the ISO 14001. It means you need to check about the environmental assets and impact. The next, for the long-term environmental strategy. For the long-term environmental strategy, need you to set the long-term plan or the long-term target. Normally, for the long-term, should be more than 3 years. For the long-term, this is the question in the system. For the compliance with the legal and the other requirement, should be the regular monitoring. Effective process for the equipment maintenance. Maybe they ask you about the preventive maintenance of the equipment or the machines. Engage for the facility leadership and worker on the environmental performance. Subcontractor, upstream supplier engagement using the HIC index. It means in case of you have a subcontractor or upstream supplier, maybe you need to request them to join the HIC index or join the HIC FEM. For the local stakeholder on the environmental performance improvement, maybe we can call the CSR program, focus on the helping the environmental example for the local, for the community, or the nearly your company. This is the key highlight for the EMS. Next, for the energy and GHG of greenhouse gas. For the energy and GHG, The highlight for the data from the last calendar year is needed for the HIC FEM. So, okay, I will recap again. For the HIC FEM, they have a verification program year over year. It means in case of this year is 2024. In case of you need to join the FEM, you need to fill the data of the last year. It means the 2023. Back to this. For the energy and GHG, the data from the last calendar year is needed for the HIC FEM. Example, for the FEM 2023, or we call the cycle of the 2023, yearly data from 2023 is expected. For the energy, you need to reduce the energy use. In case of the you can reduce the energy use, it means you can reduce the GHG or greenhouse gas. Reduce the exposure of the regulatory list, track all energy and fuel sources. You need to set the normalized baseline for the energy, set improvement target, and the last one is the improvement plan with effective monitoring. This is the key highlight for the energy and GHG. The next is the water use. For the water use, the key highlight, you need to evaluate your water risk according to your regions. This is the platform. This is the global platform. You can access, or you can go to this website to check what is the situation in your company now. You have a low risk, or medium risk, or the high risk. And for the water use, in case of you use the water more than 25 cubic meters per day, you is the heavy user. In case of you use the water less than 25 cubic meters per day, this is light user. For the calculation of this, you need to fill the data of the water consumption in your company, and they will divide it with your operation date in your that you fill in the site information permit, or you fill in the part of the water use. They will calculation automatically in the website. This is the calculation for the volume of the water use. In case of you rated in the high water risk level, the full water section need you to fill. The full water section is named level 1, level 2, and level 3. For the low water risk, only level 1 question. And they request you to track all the water sources. Example, you use water from you use the groundwater, you use the surface water, you use the municipal water, or you use the gray water. You need to track all the water sources in your company. Same with the energy. Data from the last calendar year is need you to set the normalized baseline, set up the improvement targets and improvement action plan. For the set up the baseline, I will explain you. In the HIC index, they have two types of the baseline. For the first one, they call the absolute baseline. For the second one, they call the normalized baseline. For the absolute baseline, it means they focus on the volume used in the baseline year. Example, for the last year, you use water about the 100 cubic meter. In case of you set the absolute baseline, it means you can use the 100 meter for setting the baseline. But for the normalized baseline, it means you calculate by the water consumption in your company divided is maybe production output in your company. This is the between. This is different about the normalized and absolute baselines. For the next is the wastewater. For the wastewater, the highlights, the facility should be fully aware of how much wastewater is being produced and where it is discharged. And you need to track tracking the wastewater volume need to comply with the local requirement or the other requirement. Example, the ZDHC. ZDHC is mean zero discharge hazardous chemical. In case of you have a wastewater treatment plant or you use a chemical or something, you need to create about the emergency response plan or ERP. In case of your wastewater treatment is breakdown, in case of you have a storm water to prevent about the storm water mixed with the contaminated water or wastewater. Proper disposal of the sludge. For the wastewater, they separate in the two types of the wastewater. For the first one, we call the domestic. For the domestic, example is the toilet, showers, kitchens, and cleaning. And the next is the industrial wastewater. Industrial wastewater is mean the wastewater from the production, lubrication, cooling, maintenance, cleaning of the products, production or the machines. You see the key highlight for the wastewater treatment. Next, for the air emissions. For the air emission, focus on the common air pollutants. Example, the particulate matter 10 or PM10, PM2.5, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, VOC or ODS, and other. Source of the air emission. You need to create the list of source of the air emission. One is the point source, and one is the fugitive source or area source. For the point source area, example, stack on the chimney of the boiler. And for the fugitive source, example, it means maybe the gas leak from the refrigeration of the air conditioner. You need to create the table. This is the new requirement. Tracking the quantity of the emission from facility operation, production, and refrigeration. This is the control device, batch process, and monitoring frequency. For the new technologies, example, you use the activated carbon filter, you use the cyclone waste scrubber or scrubber, and ESP or electrostatic precipitator. This is the key highlight for the air emission. Next is the waste management. For the waste management, for the waste in this part, in the HIC, they separate in the two types of the waste. One is the hazardous waste, and second one is the non-hazardous waste. For the hazardous waste, it means could harm to public health and or the environment. You need to tracking all of the hazardous and non-hazardous waste streams. For the proper segregation and labeling, example, all hazardous waste must be separate from non-hazardous waste and put the label, need the request a PPE or something. The proper ventilation and protection for storage area. Appropriate about it. Disposal methods and use. This is important. No open burning or dumping on site. Set the baseline for the waste reduction target and prepare the improvement plan. For the next is the chemical management. For the chemical management, this is the last topic. This is the last main topic for the HIC. For the chemical management, for the first step, you need to apply the chemical management system. For the chemical management system, it means you need to set the chemical management policies, compliance procedures, and commitment and committee. Employee training and communications. Chemical procedure and purchasing practice. Chemical handling, use, and storage practice. Chemical inventory management, including the RSL or MISL. RSL is mean restricted substance list, and MISL is manufacturing restricted substance list. Emergency response plan in case of the leak, chemical leak, or in case of emergency from the chemical. product quality and integrity, including the traceability program, chemical and process innovation, and the last one, this is the continuous improvements. Okay, this is the main topic for the HIG FEM. In the 7 topic, they have a 3 level. In the 7 topic, recap again. 7 topic have a 3 level. You can put in the level 1, level 2, and the level 3. For my suggestion again, need to fulfill only level 1 first. For the HIG index FEM general approach, this is the step. This is the for the monitoring or keep the data. For the first one, you need to do the identification of the all of the source in your company. Example, source of the energy use, source of the wastewater, waste, and the chemical. And next, independence review. For the independence review, you need a team. You need the team from the another committee. Example, in case of you have an environmental committee, you can use the environmental committee team for the review, or you can use the internal audit team in case of you have in your company. Setting the baseline years, setting the objective and target, create the action plan, and the last one, monitoring. It's the same loop of the PDCA. PDCA is mean plan, do, check, action. This is the general approach for the HIG FEM. So this I will explain you. In case of you need to getting the start for the HIG FEM, how to do. For the first one, now they change the platform. Now, in case of we talking about the HIG FEM, you can use the platform is for the Worley. This is the link of the platform, or you can go to the Google. You can go to the Google. You can fill the information in the Google. Example for the HIG FEM or how to HIG.org. This is the step for the self-assessment flow. Before go to this, I will explain you first. For the first step, you need to create account in the Worley user account. They create a user account on the Worley only. You can go to the website, and next you need to purchase a FEM modules. For the FEM module, this start for the self-assessment only. In case of you purchase the FEM module already, for the next, you need to fill the data. For the fill the data, back to the basic again. For the HIG, they will focus on for the 1 year. For the FEM, for the 1 year, it means you need to prepare the data start from the January, the 1st of the January to the end of the end of the December. For the next, in case of you complete the self-assessment, before you posting, you need to review the data again to ensure the accuracy in your FEM module before you are posting on Worley website. For the review, maybe you can use the internal audit team to review the data or the information you fill in the self-assessment. You can review, okay, this is you have an evidence to support in each question. And the last one for the self-assessment flow, you need to submit or you need to posting your FEM and requesting the verification program. This is the first step. You can call the self-assessment. After you submit in the system, for the next step, we can call the verification program. For the verification program, what is the HIC FEM verification? For the verification, is not pass or fail assessment or the audit. It serves to verify the self-assessment submitted by the facility. It means the verification program to check your self-assessment only. For my suggestion, in case of you confirm you have evidence or data in each question in the HIC module, you can say yes. In case of you not have any data to support, or you okay, in case of you have not any data, you can say no in the HIC FEM. There is the no minimum score in the HIC FEM. HIC FEM focus on the performance monitoring of critical and minimum legal and industrial standards, as well as supporting the facility in its continuous improvement. And this is a condition for the 2024. It means verify the data in the 2023. For this year, only level 1 question can be verified, or we can call the or the verifier verifier can verify only the core verification. This is the condition of this year. In some factory, in some factory there you verify already. Okay, for the verifier, maybe they explain you. Okay, this year only focus on the core verification is normally is the level 1 question only. But for the next year, in case of the Cascade or in the HIC platform is changed again, they will update to you again. But for the self-assessment, you can fill the data in the level 1, level 2, and the level 3. For the verifier, you need to verify only the core verification or the level 1 question only. This is the verification flow. In case of the company submit the self-assessment already. For the next, you need to purchase. You need to purchase the module for the verification. In case of you purchase already. For the next step, need to choose a verifying body. You need to select one of the approved FEM verifying body to conduct your verification. SGS is one of the verifier body. And for the next, prepare for the verification. You need to coordinate with the FEM verifying body to schedule the verification date and what you will need to prepare. The next, get verified by the verifying body. The verifier will conduct the verification to check your response are accurate or to correct them to the right answer based on your operation and evidence. For the verify, for the verification, need to check your self-assessment in your system. Need to check about the on-site sightseeing or observation in your site. In case of the verification complete, after complete, the verifier will submit in the system, and you maybe you will receive the email from the Cascade again to follow. Okay, this is the complete by the verifier. This is the complete for the verification and need you to review again. In case of you review and agree, you can submit and post in the system. For the program of the HIC, you should be finished start on the self-assessment until the verification program before December. Before the end of the December, it means you need to finish about the verification program, submit already in the system before end of December in each year. So for the prepare for the verification, please confirm the date. For the verification, share the FEM and request document and check availability. For the documentation to prepare, may including the license, permit, policy procedure, any report based on your evidence submit in the system. Department to involve maybe include the management team, safety team, environmental team, HR team, production team, and engineering team. So for the department related with the activity for the environmental activity, I think all of you should be involved in this. An area to be assessed may include the facility perimeter and surrounding, or we can call the production and surrounding area, storage area, utility rooms, wastewater treatment plant, chemical operation, waste water and waste discharge or ventilation point. This is the area to prepare for the verification. And the last one, in case of you need to learn more or you need to support with the HIC program, you can go to the website howtohic.org. In case of you fill example, you fill the information in Google howtohic.org, it will show you look like this. For the HIC, you can choose the HIC FEM. FEM which means Facility Environmental Modules. And you can download the new version of the HIC, or we call HIC FEM 4.0 to study first. Okay. Do you have any question for the HIC FEM?
Thank you so much, Chris, for your provide a comprehensive presentation on HIC. Yeah, in terms of, so one topic, 3D well, HIC approach, well assessment, and also HIC FEM verification flow. This so, it's very understandable on how to apply HIC. So this is I hope it will benefit for our participants. So we have found a question in the chat box. So yeah, so you see the grid. So could you please provide with clear information related to HIC verification after I got information which I said HIC 4.0 will not verify level 2 and 3. It is correct?
Have many questions in here. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I will answer one by one. Okay,
Okay, please.
Okay, for the first question, about the technology of the air emission. Okay, from the chat box. For now, in case we have many new technology for the air emission. So I think you can check in your company your company again for the technology can use in your company or not, because some factory they have a separate type of the machine, separate type of the equipment. So you can check again. Example, for now we have many I think many new technology. Example for the technology for the waste cover, technology for the ESP. You can use this sort. And the last one for the fugitive source. Fugitive source example for the the type of the refrigeration. For now, you need to check with your company. You have an old version of the refrigerant type in the air conditioner or not. Example, some company use the R22 or not. In case of you use the R22, this is a CFC, no? CFC gas. You need to have a plan to change or something. Okay. For
come
the
to
next,
next, how to set baseline, you know, of energy
okay,
consumption.
how to set the baseline. Baseline here, focus on depend on your company first. But for the baseline year, you need to before you set the baseline year, you need to check that your information is ready to set or not. And for the baseline year concept, to setting the baseline year, need to I can say you need to check in company you have a major change in that year or not. In case of you have a change in year, example, in 2020, you not have a improvement program or a project. You can set in the 2020, but for the 2023, you have a new equipment, you have a new machine in your company. This is the major change in your company. Maybe you need to review the target again. You need to review the baseline again. This is the concept on the HIC. And for this year, for the HIC FEM in the new version, I suggest you the verifier will check only the level 1. So for the level 2, maybe they will check in the next year. Should be beware on this. The data in your company and data in the base year line should be parallel.
Okay, come to next relate to the air emission, you know, fugitive source by
Okay.
AC.
I explain to you.
Okay.
From the last.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like to know if the factory can stay in the well one forever or need to upgrade, you know, if need upgrade, how many year that need to upgrade to the well 2 and the well 3, please.
Okay. For the upgrade to level 2 and level 3. So basically you need to fulfill in the level 1 first. But I think for this year in the new version of the HIC that they have many complicated question. You should be understand the one by one the question and fulfill the data in the level 1 first. And for the second, in case of you fulfill the data in the level 1, for the fulfill the data in the level 1 is mean you need to make sure you have an evidence to support all of the data in the level 1. In case of you confirm you can say yes. In case of you not have the evidence or not sure have or not have, you should to be say no first. Back to my suggestion again. You should be confirmed. You should be confirmed the information of the level 1 or the fulfill the information in the level 1 first.
Okay,
before
great.
you go to the level 2 and 3.
Yeah, come back to the air emission. Do you have any recommendation about you know, combat technology available? You know, the new technology for air emission.
The best technology in now. I think it's not change from the previous, but for now, okay, the technology about the example in the garment factory, okay, you have a anti-cyclone.
It's in your echo.
In the textile company, okay, in case of you use the boiler or something, maybe you have a wet cover, you have a ESP or something. This is the example for the new technology for emission.
Okay. For the last one, for the emission factory, do you have a database for emission say, factors for purchase electricity in Cambodia?
Okay. I think this is a good point because for now, in the HIC system, they ask you how many emission factor in the Cambodia.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe you need to contact to the governance or regulatory again for the emission factor in the Cambodia because emission factor not the same in each country.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Chris, for your response on the question. I think it's all. And then I hope my colleague Celia here, then she will note all the the contacts numbers.
Okay.
And also we will share. Yeah, we will share the presentation to all participants. However, we will Celia will note all the contact email here. You are dropped in the chat box also as well. So thank you.
Sorry,
my
I saw another question in the chat box.
Which one? Another question? What question, please? What question remain?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Another question is, if the result done can be request for editing, and the score will be revised or not?
Sorry.
If the result done, can we request for editing, and scoring will revise?
Oh, okay. The result is done. Result is done is mean after the verifier submit in the system, you will receive the email from the system. In case of you review and agree, you can submit and post in the system. And in case of you have some question or you not agree or some question, you can selection the VRE or mean verifying is being edit.
Okay.
You can edit only the after the before you can edit before you submit and post.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. So maybe Sang Pisang, do you have a question, please? I want you have some.
Excuse me, sir. I'm not have the question, but I have one more suggestion.
Please.
I suggestion to Chris after the training, after the meeting, can you share the slide training to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we will share.
Lucas will prepare to you.
Lucas will, be one who will share to everyone. No worry.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
For the last, this is a slide. In case of you have any question or need to learn more, you can. This is the contact in my colleagues in the Cambodia team. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, then the last slide of Chris also they are mentioned also the contacts, email and phone also, and then website, so you can connect him for further action. Thank you, Chris, again. Yeah. So yes. So now we are reach to the end of our webinars. I hope you are all found on the session and also the valuables. So on behalf of our organizers, I would like to extend our gratitude to our speaker, Mr. Tom, and also the Grid, for their excellent presentation, and also thank you to all participants for joining us today. And then we are encourage you to take this knowledge gain from this webinar or apply it to your practice factory for the improvement or certification for the next step. So yeah, have a great day. And then last but not least, I would like to invite Mr. Lai Sokir, the representative from the GIZ Fabric, to provide a closing remark. Please, Sophia. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bong, and also thank you to all participants who joining a webinar today on the GOTS and HIGF EM certifications. And I hope you all found the good information provided by SGS and IDFL to be a valuable and understanding how these certification can help the factory, especially it could be the brands or expectation from the industrial standard. As a quick recap and also key takeaway on the GOTS certification, I think it provides a comprehensive criteria for the organic textile, as well as the really good and detail of the requirement of each scope in GOTS, as well as including the social and environmental topics in there. I think it's really helpful, and also part of it also on the traceabilities and ensure the traceabilities, and as well as the sustainable practice throughout the supply chains. At the same time, about the FEM, I think it's well interactions and also very clear from Chakrit to all the sections. I think 8 sections, which is clearly described and explained to all of the participants here today. Again, we would like to share those materials throughout the Asia Garment Hub, which is the website of GIZ. So we will let you know while it is done, and then we will share those information to all the participants here today. Yeah, so thank you very much, and wish all of you have a great day and have a good week. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay,
Sophia.
bye-bye. Yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Bye-bye.
See you next time. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.